Was it raining? I don't remember that. But okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to She is a Mermaid. It's been a while, hasn't it? Been a very long time. Maybe? Oh, a few weeks. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this sometime in the future, you probably think I'm crazy or something. Right. Halloween things happened. All sorts of things happened. It's just whatever. All sorts of things happened. But I just know that this wasn't going on another major hiatus. Just got overworked and all sorts of other things happening, so I needed a slight break. So, anyways, but we're back! And I vaguely remember what happened last. God, my memory's just awful. But yeah, serious things happened. That's what happened. Losing her memory or something. Travel to the country roads, take a visit to the fields, do some research on mermaids. We need to make a choice. Doing this, I presume, takes us to what's her name? Maybe? Or maybe we stay with experiment time, 3:33 p.m. I will now proceed with the world's first unofficial mermaid behavioral traits experiment. But it's raining. Post-rain humidity engulfs my entire body. In order to conduct my mermaid behavioral trait experiment, I've come here to the mountain shrine. Spirits are the best for when you can't calm yourself down. This is a scientific mind at work. Despite being for an experiment, me only having two mermaids that I am able to make contact with. When I ask Ion to let me observe her, she whacks me with her tail, so that means the only one I can observe given the circumstances is Patako. Yes, only Patako, but well. Issues that Patako's in at the reservoir. Nothing but fog around. Why, through scientific reasoning, I've come to the conclusion that Patako's likely at the shrine. Rinson left her with Patako in tow, and she's not at the reservoir, so they must have gone to the shrine. What? What the heck? There's no cool detective-style explanation here, but it's pretty much how reasoning plays out. After considering the possibility, you toss away whatever has low likelihood, and whatever you have left is the truth. On that side, regardless of how I might have mentally restored as a result, the very thought that I'm coming all the way to Rinson's place. Anyway, I want to research just Patako without having to bump heads with Rinson, but first I've got to call out Patako. Crawl out of the ground, desperately clawing my way behind the shrine. I'm going to reload. I need to spend time with Ion. I want whichever route leads to her. At least this time around. Maybe I'll change my mind the next time. I don't know which one will lead to her. Alright, let's take it to the fields. Bad feeling that I might face some life-threatening danger, but I also feel as though a spectacular adventure awaits. Oh, I'll be screwed if it rains, so I guess I'll bring an umbrella along. My home has farmland on it. When I was a child, this was a certain type of monster hunter field. Right? Why does that look censored? Monster hunter. Monster haunter. Monster... Why does that look censored? I'm confused. A small plot of land to mass-produce food resources. Well, I was certain it would have turned into a field of weeds when the house was abandoned. For so long, Rinson has actually been using my house as a weekend home and has been taking care of the fields as well. And now this field is decimated! It's literally decimated. The vegetables that should be buried in the field are all covered in mud and strewn about. The soil looking like a huge tanker truck has been peeling out in front of one end or another. A little wave of soil. Tsunami soil! The San Andreas fault of soil! If a great wizard passed by and reversed gravity in a drunken stupor, only to realize they're falling and hastily put things back to normal. What is this? What in the world happened? Jeez, Cabba. Hey, stay with me, man. Open your eyes! I'm guessing cabbage? Heine's Cabba. Cabbage draws its last breath in my arms. It meets a heroic end. Darn. What happened here? Push the cabbage close to my chest and take a look at my surroundings. This desolate countryside doesn't have anything like bears inhabiting it, which means there's only one other monster that could do something like this here in the village. Yeah! A boar? There atop the mound of vegetable corpses. Trampled over at them in a cruel display as it lets out a cry. It's a monstrous beast covered in reddish brown fur. The wild boar, scientifically known as Suscrofa. Monstrous beast belonging to the phylum Chordata, Mammalia Cetartiodactylasuidae. Just a boar, man. I don't get the point of scientific names. What the hell's the point? It's a boar. What more do you want? It's not a warthog. It's not Pumbaa. It's not a pig. It's a boar. Pterodactyl. It's a Ceratops pterodactyl. Oh, you say that domestically raised boars can grow to Godzilla-sized proportions, with them getting to be 1.8 meters at most, and exceeding 90 kilograms in weight. A dash speed of over 60 kilometers per hour and destructive power closer to an automobile than a living organism. These creatures are literally biological weapons. In order to fight these things, you need a weapon like a pistol at the very least. No, actually, it might prove difficult to win with just a pistol alone. If it was this thing that attacked my security system devoid fields, it probably no small wonder how this travesty came about. Even as I see this modern-day ankylosaurus covered in pointy reddish down for my very eyes, my feelings of fear are at a minimum. Well, been a while, hasn't it? I've seen a wild boar since my childhood, so yeah, I'm used to them. In my experience of my childhood running around the fields, being chased by these things, I have some sympathy for that ugly mug. Ugly enough to be called the Frankenstein's monster of the animal kingdom. Well, I can agree to that. Pigs are gross, ugly things. However, the difference between now and my childhood is that I don't have my parents behind me with the boar capture tools. Second thought. This is bad. This is really bad. My sympathy is gone in one fell swoop. Pull back inch by inch. If I abruptly make a break for it, there's a possibility that this monster will come tackling my backside out of instinct. So, whee! Whee! Boar came charging at me. Crap. The wild boar comes charging at me with all its might! I don't know if this is the ion route or not. It's kind of why I was reading really fast. I was trying to skim it to see if we were... But I don't know. However, I feel it's moving pretty slow. The issue here is that I'm being pretty slow myself. Huh? Why is that everything is so slow, yet my thoughts are going so fast I can count every individual hair on that boar's body? Seems that the perception of time is being prolonged like how a trained master perceives it, I guess. Maybe I'm instantly implementing my high-level concentration and putting my thought process into overdrive, giving myself the illusion that time is going to slow. Even engrossed in this much thought, I see the charging boar as it starts to blink its eyes and barely get halfway past its eyeball. I get caught up by how incredibly fast I myself am blinking, but this prolonged perception of time seems to be, without a doubt, an indefinite contraction of time in relation to how my body experiences it, which makes things feel as though time is frozen in place. Basically, I've got more than enough time to think things over. The human mind truly is a mystery. Nevertheless, what can I do to hope for... No. Okay. I misread that and I'm tripping over things. My current combat power stats! Stamina! 150. Attack 30. Defense 25. Agility 20. More stats. Stamina 1,848. Attack 2744. 10,000 during dash. Defense 5895. Agility 100. 3,000 during dash. Well, these are all rough estimates. And each unit of one is equal to the combat power of one highly trained heavy weapons hamster. In a nutshell, these values are not authentic, nor do they have a use. As I'm here talking, my eyelids are 2/3 covering my eyes. It means that quite a lot of time has passed. It's no good. I have to make my next calculations. With the item that I currently have on my under umbrella, I can't even properly defend against the boar, much less attack it! Faced with this boar charging at me at 60 kilometers per hour, an umbrella would be no better to me than tissue paper. An umbrella. That reminds me. I remember hearing something about this before. From what I heard, when wild boars are using their dashing skill, if an unseen obstacle pops up in front of them, they take a sudden dive. What? Really? So they're the opposite of bulls charging at red. That means that if I suddenly open the umbrella when there's a certain distance between me and the boar, I'll be able to avoid it in its opening sortie of a dash attack. I complete my blink and time resumes once more. Gree! Scram, you stink! This boar gets about 5 meters in front of me. I open the umbrella. Oh, it's a transparent vinyl umbrella. Why did I grab this? And here comes the boar. Gree! Not sure if it's because of a snare on its foot, but it suddenly tumbles to the ground. What is this? No way, you are... Go now. Get out of here, human! Or something of the sort! Wild Boar slipped on the couch that had been lying on the ground. The front of his right foot twists at an odd angle and looks like a particularly nasty injury. Fortunately, it looks completely broken. Right now, that's all the opportunity I need. Noble Cabbage, don't let the chance you laid down your body to give me go to waste. Make my way swiftly up to a nearby shed's roof. It's over, Boar. I have fire. It's baconating time. The enraged Godzilla about to roar! Ugh. Ooh, being a little lightheaded. Oh, my eyes. Fortunately, this shed is made out of reinforced concrete. Which means it's a battle of attrition. Boar doesn't seem to have any intention of leaving these fields. And until it leaves, I have no intention of getting down from here. It seems that my showdown with this century's biggest beast is locked in a stalemate. While I remain atop my reinforced concrete fortress cut off from supply routes, the Boar is on the ground with a stock of food from the numerous corpses of the fallen cabbages. Excuse me. However, I have absolutely no plans of drawing this battle out. Put just my arm into the shed, grabbing a hold of several items. Die! Why? Start by chucking a brick at the Boar's head. Gwah! Huh? It's the Boar's head, but it crumbles in vain. Like this freakish beast took the hit on purpose! Just made it pissed! What should I do? I am familiar with your tale! The Boar begins to take a few steps back. Good, it charges toward the shed. You miserable fool, look at you. Letting the provocation get to your common sense. Alright, ram your dumb head into the concrete wall and let your brains spill. The entire shed shakes, even the roof of it, which I'm standing on, shakes. It's gone completely insane. It has an unbelievable might. These country boars are monsters, to say the least. Not even getting a bump on its noggin. This is bad news. This is bad news indeed. Do tigers and bears really snag and eat these things? Well, sure. If you're a super predator, I'm sure you'd have no problem with a boar at all. Lion, tiger, bear. I feel like even wolves would be able to handle boars, at least in a pack. More so than a moose, for sure. Maybe less so than a deer, though. That said, since tackling concrete directly has got to hurt, I venture that this is why the Boar quits ramming the shed anymore. And it already has. Okay. Do I have no other choice here but to hold down the fort like this? Is this stalemate, so to speak? With Godzilla here right in front of me. The Boar stares into my eyes, after which a maybe evil expression draws on its face and turns its back toward me. Is it leaving? No, instead the Boar's aim is set on. You absolute devil! The Boar starts delivering the final blow to the cabbages on the ground. You sick bastard. Nom, munch, munch. Go. Or something to that effect. Snarf, munch, snarf. No, I don't want to die. Help me, no. Or something to that effect. Munch, munch, munch. I'm being eaten. This boar, it's eating me. Yeah, I'm getting eaten alive. Or something to that effect. You monster. Slap my fist on the shed roof. Am I going to get everything I buy taken away by this dog, fat, overgrown devil? No way. Absolutely no way. I thrust my hand into the shed. Human beings and using tools go hand in hand. There must be something here, something to cut my way through this situation, something, anything! This weight in my palm. It's a Ha ha! Ha! An electric chainsaw, the great equalizer. I've never used one before, but I feel like I can use it for some reason. Take the chainsaw full of confidence and jump down to the shed. Bring it on, Furball. And with the flip of the chainsaw switch, Oh, it's not charged. Hold up, this is a misunderstanding. Oh, the boar charges right at me! Curse you, you use the chainsaw! Yeah, it's probably best you don't use a chainsaw if you don't know how to use one anyway. Just take the chainsaw at the boar's face and scurry back up the shed. The boar comes ramming into the shed at almost the same time. This time it targets the door instead of the wall and busts its way inside. The door gets savagely mangled. It could have been me if I weren't quick enough. Ugh. Oh, seriously. Now that the boar has found his way inside the shed, I'm effectively cut off from grabbing any more weapons. You feel the shaking from that boar thrashing about from up here. It's a bull in a china shop. Out of ways to fight now? My force to see you unable to repel the overgrown beast until it decides to leave and watch out as it ravages every vegetable in my field. So the power of science on their side, and they rule at the apex of the animal kingdom. However, I never knew that a human without the power of science could ever be this weak. Maybe shut the door on it, huh? So I despair over the frailty of humans. It happens. Wee wee wee! The boar comes running out wailing. What? What's the deal? What just happened? The same boar that had been causing a ruckus inside the shed is currently hightailing it with tears in its eyes. There's something inside of the shed. I've only ever put my hand inside of the shed, so I put my face inside of it and take a look to find... No tears disturb my slumber. Covering the inside of the shed is the aerial armored division, tens of thousands of troops strong. Come to think of it, I did forget that there's a... Oh god, no! I forgot about that! There's a beehive inside the shed! Both my decisions and actions are swift. Though I close the doors quick as the wind and leave the fields. Never to come back ever again, because screw that. That had to be the most dangerous, life-threatening fight I've ever been in! I'm mad that I came out of it with no spoils, but in any case, I survived. The strongest will survive. It's more like the strongest is whoever ends up surviving. This is one of the world's absolute truths.